I said, believe it or not, some of this is believable.
News just dropped tying Kawhi Leonard to a jaw-dropping $28 million fraud scheme, and Stephen A. Smith is blowing the lid off it. We're talking secret contracts, A-list names, and an NBA superstar accused of cashing massive checks without doing a single thing. On September 3rd, 2025, journalist Pablo Torre dropped an investigative bombshell that rocked the league. His report exposed Leonard's alleged $28 million no-show endorsement deal, a setup that may have secretly helped the Clippers bend salary cap rules. Torre spent months digging through 3,000-plus pages of court files and grilled 7 former Aspiration employees who spilled that this might be the slickest salary cap dodge in NBA history.
Included clauses allowing Leonard to do nothing, yet still collect payment. That's the Kawhi Leonard I know. Doing nothing and getting paid for it.
At the center of it all, Aspiration, a so-called eco-friendly bank that bragged about planting trees and saving the planet. Sounds noble, right? But this company was faker than Monopoly money. It raised $865 million, hit a $2.3 billion valuation, and reeled in celebrity faces like Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert Downey Jr., Drake, and even ex-Clippers coach Doc Rivers. But here's the twist. Co-founder Joseph Sandberg pleaded guilty to wire fraud in August 2025.
Did you ever see proof of Kawhi Leonard marketing or endorsing Aspiration in any way?
Never, not once. The single largest payment to an individual for marketing that Aspiration ever made has completely evaded all press. It's honestly incredible. Nothing. He didn't have to do anything.
In other words, Kawhi Leonard got from Aspiration a $28 million no-show job.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm honestly so jealous.
Admitting he conned investors out of $243 million. By March, the company was bankrupt, and all the dirty laundry spilled out. Enter Kawhi Leonard. In April 2022, his company KL2, Aspire LLC, signed with Aspiration. But unlike the other stars, Leonard never lifted a finger. No posts, no ads, no green speeches, just one Clippers tweet on his birthday about planting trees for retweets. That's it. And the contract? Straight shady. Leonard could reject any request from the company and still pocket millions. The real kicker? Payments only rolled in as long as he stayed with the Clippers. That's not subtle, that's a smoking gun. Torre's investigation revealed ex-Aspiration employees flat out admitted the deal was set up to dodge the salary cap.
This is a man that did New Balance commercials, and the kids spoke, Molly. The kids. He didn't say a word. I've seen them go up to him and need him to sign autographs and fraternize with the public when he was sitting behind on the bench collecting about $40+ million, and he wouldn't do it. So he has spent years doing absolutely, positively nothing.
One finance staffer even said they were told not to ask questions because it was to circumvent the salary cap. The audacity. And then you got Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. Sitting on a $173 billion fortune, he personally dropped $50 million into Aspiration, which just so happened to announce a $300 million sponsorship with the Clippers.
When it says that Kawhi Leonard was getting $28 million, quote unquote, for a no-show job, end quote. That sounds just like Kawhi Leonard. No-show job. No-show job. Don't have to show up. Don't have to do a damn thing. That sounds exactly like Kawhi Leonard. Exactly like.
In September 2021, that timing, way too perfect to ignore. Torre's follow-up report days later revealed another $20 million side deal.
The worst superstar I have ever seen in sports history.
Pushing the total to $48 million, lining up almost exactly with Ballmer's $50 million buy-in. Coincidence? No way. The mastermind behind the details? Leonard's uncle, Dennis Robertson. Same uncle who, back in 2019, was accused of asking for wild perks like team ownership and private planes during Kawhi's free agency. The league looked into it, but claimed no evidence. Now, here we are again.
There's a perk to be had. He's going to get it.
Robertson's name all over another shady setup. When Stephen A. Smith caught wind of this, he went nuclear. On First Take September 3rd, 2025, Smith torched Kawhi, saying this whole scheme made sense because Leonard's career has been nothing but money for doing nothing. Smith reminded viewers Kawhi has missed over 40% of games since joining the Clippers, while pocketing $43.3 million per year. And what's he giving back? No interviews, no promo events, no fan love, nothing. Just collecting perks, like he's owed them. Smith even dragged Uncle Dennis, saying this scandal fits the same pattern. Leonard's camp always finding ways to maximize cash with minimum effort. His most brutal line? Stephen A. said Kawhi basically held the Clippers hostage, blackmailed them into giving up assets, then sat out game after game. That cut deep. The timing of Kawhi's Aspiration deal makes it look even shadier. His company, KL2 Aspire LLC, was registered in November 2021.
They conned me.
You're one of the richest men in America.
They conned me. I made an investment in these guys thinking it was on the up and up, and they conned me. At this stage, I have no ability to predict why they might have done anything.
Just weeks after the Clippers announced their Aspiration partnership, by April 1st, 2022, the $28 million deal kicked in, set for quarterly payments through March 2026. But when Aspiration collapsed, filing showed KL2 Aspire was still owed $7 million. The second Pablo Torre story dropped, the NBA world went into chaos. Social media lit up, fans split into camps, and the league had no choice but to react fast. Within hours, NBA spokesman Mike Bass declared, "We are aware of this morning's media report regarding the LA Clippers and are commencing an investigation. When the league moves that quickly, you know it's serious." On X, fans went wild. Lakers supporters, still salty about Kawhi snubbing them in 2019, clowned him non-stop. Reddit's r/NBA blew up too. 884 upvotes, 303 comments, debating whether Kawhi was clueless or if Uncle Dennis pulled the strings. One fan posted, "Doesn't matter if it was Kawhi or his camp. The cap rules ain't for players to bend. That's on owners and GMs." Raptors fans were split. Some joked about rewinding time to 2019 and bringing Kawhi back, while others just said thanks for the ring and goodbye to the drama. Meanwhile, Adam Silver's office isn't playing games. The NBA is digging into possible violations of Section 13 of the CBA, which bans shady side deals that secretly pay players beyond their contracts. This investigation is the real deal. If these allegations check out, the punishment could be brutal. We're talking fines up to $7.5 million under the 2023 CBA, lost draft picks, voided contracts, and even year-long suspensions for team executives. Adam Silver has already called salary cap dodging a cardinal sin of the NBA, so expect fireworks if this gets proven. Just look back at the 2000 Timberwolves mess. Minnesota lost 5 draft picks and paid $3.5 million for their Joe Smith under-the-table deal. Compared to Kawhi's alleged $48 million scheme, that looks like pocket change. But Steve Ballmer isn't folding. On ESPN's SportsCenter, September 4, the billionaire insisted he was conned by Aspiration's founders, claiming the Clippers only connected Kawhi after his contract extension and the sponsorship were finalized. Mark Cuban even defended Ballmer online, saying the scheme made no sense, pointing to Kawhi's ACL injury in 2021 and Ballmer's insane wealth. Cuban argued if this was intentional, Aspiration wouldn't have gone bankrupt. Torre clapped back by inviting Cuban onto his podcast, adding even more fuel to this scandal. And here's where it gets juicier. Kawhi's past already looks like a pattern of drama. Remember his ugly Spurs exit in 2018? He only played 9 games, blaming a quad injury, while Spurs doctors swore he was good to go. Teammates held a players-only meeting, begging him to return. Tony Parker even shaded Kawhi, saying his own injury was 100 times worse, but he came back faster. That comment torched Kawhi's reputation in San Antonio. Fans still call it betrayal. One Redditor said, "Kawhi got hurt, didn't talk to the team all year. Reports said he was weeks from returning. He's a huge clown, ouch." And then came the load management saga. Since 2019, Kawhi has suited up for just 52.4% of Clippers' regular season games, missing 256 of 435. That's the kind of history that makes this latest scandal look like deja vu. That's basically half a season gone every year, while Kawhi pockets $43 million annually. The league even fined the Clippers $50,000 back in 2019 for resting him during a primetime game against Milwaukee. And let's not forget the tampering smoke from that same summer. After Kawhi delivered Toronto its first championship, Uncle Dennis was back making wild demands: part ownership, private jets, mansions, and guaranteed endorsement money. The Athletic reported Lakers owner Jeannie Buss flat out refused because it was illegal, while Raptors owner Larry Tannenbaum dangled $15 million in endorsements until Adam Silver himself stepped in with a warning. Fast forward to 2023, and Kawhi's camp was in headlines again. Former Clippers performance coach Randy Shelton sued the team, claiming he was fired after warning about how the organization mishandled Kawhi's injuries. He accused them of forcing Kawhi to play after his 2021 ACL tear, and again after his 2023 meniscus tear, ignoring concussion protocols and even locking him out of medical meetings, all to chase wins and revenue over player safety. Shelton said he was promised a top role for helping recruit Kawhi in 2019, but instead got iced out and dumped. Fans went off online. One post read, "Clippers putting revenue over Kawhi's safety is wild." The team denied everything and pushed the case into arbitration by January 2025. Still, execs around the league were rattled. One Eastern Conference exec told Sports Illustrated, "This is a huge deal." A Western Conference GM added, "Bad for them, very bad. The NBA will be pissed." Even Kawhi's defenders are struggling. Patrick Beverley tried to hype his work ethic on his podcast. "I have never seen anyone even close to Kawhi when it comes to working on your skills. But compared to the mountain of receipts piling up, that defense sounds weak." With Torres reporting on the secret $20 million side deal, plus bankruptcy filings laying everything bare, the case is stacking up like pancakes on Sunday morning. One Reddit user cracked, "Silver is soft. He'll find a reason to give the Clippers a slap on the wrist." Stern rolling in his grave. Bottom line, Kawhi's once spotless reputation has taken a massive hit. The quiet superstar is suddenly the face of one of the NBA's messiest scandals, and his legacy may never bounce back. Then came tragedy that forever changed Kawhi's life. On January 18th, 2008, at just 16 years old, his father was shot and killed at the family's car wash, a murder that remains unsolved. The very next day, Kawhi showed the toughness that would define him, suiting up for his high school game before breaking down in tears afterward. Basketball became his escape, his way of channeling pain into focus. But heartbreak didn't stop there. In April 2023, his sister, Kaisha Money Williams, was sentenced to life in prison for the 2019 robbery and murder of an 84-year-old woman at a California casino. Kawhi's family has faced more than its share of grief and legal turmoil. Through it all, Kawhi leaned on his longtime partner, Kisheel Shipley, whom he met at San Diego State. Shipley, a public administration grad working in HR, has been his rock. The two live extremely private lives, staying off social media, raising daughter Kalia, born 2016, and son, Mark Jr., born 2019, named after Kawhi's late father. Kawhi's basketball climb began at Canyon Springs before transferring to Martin Luther King High, where as a senior he averaged 22.6 points and 13.1 rebounds, leading the team to a 30-3 record and winning California Mr. Basketball in 2009. Despite his numbers, he was ranked just 48th nationally, proving how far he would rise. At San Diego State, Kawhi quickly became a force, averaging 14.1 points and 10.2 rebounds over 2 seasons, grabbing Mountain West Freshman of the Year honors, then leading the Aztecs to the Sweet 16 as a sophomore. By 2011, he was a consensus All-American and declared for the NBA draft. SDSU retired his number 15 jersey in 2020, cementing his legend at the school. Draft night, June 23, 2011, changed everything. Selected 15th by Indiana, he was immediately traded to the San Antonio Spurs under Greg Popovich. Wearing number 2, Kawhi earned all-rookie first-team honors in 2012, then exploded in the 2014 Finals, dropping 29 points in Game 3, leading the Spurs past the Heat, and winning Finals MVP at age 22, the third youngest ever. From there, he stacked accolades, Defensive Player of the Year in 2015 and 2016, joining Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon as the only players to win both Finals, MVP, and DPOI. His financial rise followed too, signing a 5-year, $90 million deal in 2015, proof of how much the Spurs believed in him. By 2016-17, Kawhi was averaging a career-high 25.5 points per game and looked every bit a superstar. But then came the drama that would haunt his name, the infamous 2017-18 quad injury saga. He played just 9 games that season, clashing with the Spurs medical staff over his rehab. The relationship collapsed, and by June 2018, Kawhi demanded a trade, proving he wasn't afraid to force his way out when things didn't go his way. The Toronto Raptors trade in July 2018 flipped the script, shipped out with Danny Green in exchange for DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a pick. Kawhi delivered a redemption story for the ages. Despite being load managed to just 60 regular season games, he averaged 26.6 points and turned the playoffs into his stage. His Game 7 buzzer beater versus Philly, the first in Game 7 history, still gives fans chills. Then came the legendary 2019 Finals run. Kawhi dropped 732 points, the third highest playoff total ever, trailing only LeBron and MJ. He led Toronto past Golden State, grabbed Finals MVP, and joined an exclusive club, one of only 3 players ever to win Finals MVP with 2 different franchises. Canada wanted to crown him king forever, but in July 2019, Kawhi flipped the basketball world upside down, snubbing the Raptors and Lakers to sign a 3-year, $103 million deal with the Clippers. The shock doubled when he brought Paul George along, instantly forming a super team expected to run the West. Since then, Kawhi's Clippers run has been flashes of brilliance buried under injuries. He debuted by dropping 30 on the Lakers and even snagged 2020 All-Star MVP. But the 2021 ACL tear wiped out an entire season, and a 2023 meniscus tear derailed him again. Still, the money keeps flowing. In January 2024, Kawhi locked in a 3-year, $152.4 million extension, pushing his Clippers haul past $400 million, even while missing huge chunks of action. By 2025, Kawhi's career earnings topped $325 million in salary alone before endorsements, and his portfolio runs deeper than the shady Aspiration deal. Since 2018, he's been the face of New Balance, leaving Jordan Brand to launch his own signature shoe. Add in partnerships with Cargo, Jet Airways, and Honey, bringing in another $5.5 million a year. His net worth is estimated at $120 million. Despite the money, Kawhi stays low-key. He still rolls around in his old '97 Chevy Tahoe, even while owning a $17 million LA mansion. Off the court, he plays piano, loves fishing, and even dropped a charity hip-hop project in 2021, Culture Jam, honoring Kobe and Gianna Bryant. That same year, he donated a court in Moreno Valley, saying, "It's hard for me to forget Moreno Valley because I was always going to LA every weekend to visit my dad, then coming back." His quiet style has always split opinions. Kawhi himself once said, "I'm not one of the guys in the league for the fame. I'm here so I can take care of my family, my mom, my friends, and take care of myself." Some respect that. Others, like Stephen A. Smith, blast him for not promoting himself or the league. On paper, the resume is elite. 2 championships, 2 Finals MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, 6 All-Star nods, 3 All-NBA First Team spots, 7 All-Defensive Team selections, and a place on the NBA 75th anniversary team. But that legacy is tangled up with constant injuries and now scandal. Since joining the Clippers, Kawhi has missed 290 games in 8 years, while cashing $325 million. Even bowing out of the 2024 Olympic team fueled questions about his durability and commitment. And now, the Aspiration scandal threatens to stain it all. Whether Kawhi knowingly played the salary cap game or just let Uncle Dennis run wild with business decisions, his reputation has been dragged through the mud. At 34, he's not just battling to stay elite, he's fighting for his legacy against investigations that could wreck everything.